Hi, I'm Casie with Nectar Flow Yoga, offering a flow focused on handstand practice today. So we'll be doing a traditional flow, but I will integrate drills and stop and speak to how you can use handstand in any practice. Again, building the strength, building the awareness to add in this advanced posture. So I'd like to speak for a moment to why handstand. Recent years, handstand has gotten a lot more popular. I don't know if it's Instagram or rising popularity of yoga among folks that are looking for more of a workout. Handstand is great in that way because it adds an extra challenge both mentally and physically. It increases the cardio aspect of a practice if you're jumping up into or pressing up into handstand throughout. And it is truly a full body integration. So plus it's really fun to go upside down and to add something that's a little more challenging into your day-to-day practice. So this is something that appeals to you. This is the practice that you want to try out. And you can use the things I teach in this practice in any practice, any flow style practice. I really love putting handstand into a vinyasa as a transition. So we'll play with that and see that today. We're gonna get started on our backs. If you have blocks, we may use them for drills, but they are not required. So come to lie on your back, take your feet mat's width, let your palms face up, arms down by your side. Just close your eyes and start to integrate into your practice, onto your mat. Maybe even using a little bit of visualization here. Envisioning yourself upside down. The strength required. The balance. And I encourage you as well to invite in a sense of playfulness. And start to deepen your breath and commit to a long, smooth breath throughout your practice today. On your next inhale, I want you to bring your legs together and point your toes on the exhale. On the inhale, begin to draw your toes only toward you so that you're pushing just through the ball mounds of your feet. And then you could press the big toe joint of the feet together. You'll feel this extension through the feet, activation in the legs. Can you activate your thighs a little more by pressing your calves down, squeezing the big toe mounds together? And so you should already feel some action here in the legs. From there, I want you to press down with the hip points and feel your belly fire up. So you're pressing the glutes down into the mat to feel your belly fire. From there, there's a subtle drawing in of the belly, so drawing the abs, contracting them together, and you'll feel the tailbone slightly lift. So we're not pushing the tailbone, tucking the pelvis, but we're just drawing or contracting the abs to feel a slight lift here. The low back is still slightly lifted off the mat as well. Keep breathing. Keep that extension through your toes. Maybe even try to spread your pinky toe away to activate into the outer calf. And then from here, I want you to inhale and reach your arms straight up overhead. So you're gonna, instead of sweeping out to the sides, I want you to kind of press your elbows down and then brush the sides of your head as you reach your arms straight up. Now here, we're going to reach through the fingertips, extend the shoulders up toward the ears, and then peel the fingertips back toward you. The heels of the hands press away. Press your head into the mat, feel your chest get a little lighter, push the heels of your hands away, draw your belly in, contract the core, push through your big toe mounds. And here we are on our backs in handstand. Feel the strength, the length in your body. Push away from the big toe mounds, from the heels of the hands. Take a big breath in. And then on an exhale, I want you to slowly bring your legs up. Keep the engagement in your core. Keep the arms extending. On an exhale, lower down. Lift and lower. Belly stays drawn in. Just one more. We're just warming up, creating awareness. Keep extending through the big toe mounds, through the heels of your hands. Lift and lower. From here, we'll peel up, press the low back into the mat, come up, and cross your legs. So we awoke into the integrity, full body integrity needed, the pushing through the toes, the heels of the hands. This is what you're going to experience when you're upside down. We want to have a relatively neutral pelvis, and so we worked on that as well through kind of pushing down into the hip points. That changes once we're upside down though. So here in seated, a little work into our wrists. Because we are arm balancing, hand balancing, it's super important that we warm up the wrists and that we have flexibility in the hands and wrists. So sit nice and tall, draw the belly up and in, and then press again, press away, arms are straight out, and I want you to find a little cat action here in the upper back. So you're rounding the upper back, and then pull the fingertips toward you. Active flexibility here, not passive. And then on an exhale, I want you to draw the fingertips toward you this direction. Inhale, palms face forward, and spread the fingers wide. Good. Draw the hands toward you, pull them back. Palms forward, spread the fingers wide, draw your hands back. Pull them toward you. Just one more like this. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Really feel the stretch here between the fingers. And then draw the hands toward you. Already maybe feeling a little work in the arms, and that's good. We're warming up. I want you to find some rolls in your wrists here. Then we're going to take these rolls up overhead and find this lengthening, pushing away. Now I'm going to face you here so you can see what's happening in the shoulders. You'll frequently hear yoga teachers talk about, you can keep your hands overhead while I talk through this, talk about drawing the shoulders down the back. And this is super important most of the time. But when we're doing our handstand work, we really want to be pushing, extending through the shoulders. So you're actually pushing so much away from the ground in the handstand case, from the ceiling right now, to feel the shoulders come up toward the ears. Now we're not crunching them actively, but we're extending, lengthening through the lats to bring the shoulders toward the ceiling, if you would like to think about it that way. So push and hold and draw your fingers toward you. Feel that active flexibility. Take one more breath in. Ribs are knitting in. Exhale, release. And coming back here. We've done our active flexibility. We've worked here into the shoulders, a little bit into the core. We're going to take it to a tabletop. A few rounds of cat-cow, as this helps inform what we do in our spine and different variations of handstand, both the entry into the pose and once you're upside down. So I will say periodically cat or cow the spine. So this creates a reference point for that. So just lifting the chin, lifting the tailbone, exhaling, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, drawing your belly to your spine. Just one more round like that. And then come to your neutral position. Draw your belly up and in. A little more work here into the core. Tuck the toes, spread your fingers wide, and we'll talk more about how important it is to really spread the fingers and grip or grab the mat. So doing that here, spreading the fingers, gripping or grabbing the mat, hopefully the wrists and forearms are nice and open. We'll tuck the toes and hover the knees. Draw the belly to the spine, and you'll feel your core catch you here. So we're just hovering, we're in a beast pose. Notice here if the weight has shifted just into the wrists, can you rock it back into the finger pads? And then can you press the ground away? Find that cat in your upper back. Take a breath in and then release. few more drills to work into our wrists. We'll just take some circles here. Maybe you're getting some pops, some cracks in the wrists and the fingers. Switch directions if you haven't. And then we'll just walk the hands till we feel a passive stretch in the forearms here. So for me, some flexibility is there. I can walk my fingertips all the way back, but don't force that if it doesn't work. And that goes throughout our practice. Don't force anything. Listen to your body. And here, if available, you maybe want to shift back with the hips to get a little greater stretch. Now, why is this much wrist flexibility important as we come into handstand? You will see the angles and the lines as we press up and hold our handstand. Frequently, you have to actually bring the angle to an acute angle at the wrist. So take a breath in here, belly up and in. And then on your exhale, you'll tuck your toes and press back into your first downward facing dog. Now, down dog is super helpful for our handstand practice because we're getting this nice clean line from our wrists all the way to our hips. And it's that same work we did in seated where we're pushing the ground away, putting pressure into our hands to bring our shoulders up a little closer toward our ears. So we're getting that length along the lats, along the side body. Take a big breath in. Big exhale, and we'll do some long down dog holds as these really do help prepare us for our handstand. Another big breath in. Another big exhale. Keep reaching your heels toward the ground. It's fine if they don't touch, and it's fine if the knees are bent. Last big breath in. Big exhale. And then inhale, look between your hands and walk your feet up to your hands. Important here to feel the weight shift into your hands. Exhale, release, belly up and in. We'll also work a lot of hamstring flexibility today, as that's helpful for our entry into handstand. So hanging out here, just kind of gathering ourselves, feeling into the stretch in the backs of the legs. Knees can be bent deeply or just slightly. And really work to let your head and neck go. Sometimes interlacing the fingers at the base of the skull helps release, or maybe grabbing opposite elbows to create some added weight, tension release in the spine. Take one more breath in. One more exhale. And then bend your knees, inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Reach through the fingers, and here we'll find that arms up by the ears. Palms can face in for now, and I want you to feel that extension of your fingers toward the ceiling. Zip the belly up and in, and then exhale, release. Hands to your heart, eyes to close. Another moment to visualize yourself strong and stable. Upside down. And then inhale, reach. Let's flow through our handstand flow. Exhale, hands through your heart, bent knees, flat back, fold over. Inhale up halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale, you'll step your left leg back, step your right leg back, meet in high plank. Also super informative here for our handstand shape. The vinyasa practice really does have a lot going for it to help us with our handstand. So we're holding our high plank. I want you to rotate your hands out so that the eye or inner part of your elbow faces forward, and you'll feel your lats lock in and fire up. Thighs are super strong, toes are pushing down, heels extending back, pressing the ground away. We're feeling a lot of weight in our hands to prepare us again for that inversion. Take one more inhale. And then on your exhale, press back, down dog. A big breath in, a big exhale. Heels release toward the earth. Sits bones work toward the ceiling. Breath in, big exhale. Last one, big inhale. Big exhale. Inhale. Look forward. Weight is going to shift into your hands, allowing your feet to feel light as you baby step to the top of the mat. Forward fold, head and neck, release. Inhale, reach up, rise up, extend through the fingertips. This time, turn your palms to face forward. Really reach through the fingers, bellies up and in, shoulders reaching up as well, and then draw the heels of the hands toward the ceiling, the fingertips back toward the earth. So we're in our handstand shape here in standing. Can you press down through your feet, particularly the big toe mounds? Feel your legs get tight and light, belly is up and in. Take one more inhale. This is super active and strong. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right leg back, left leg back, high plank, hold. Belly up and in. Press the ground away. Grip the mat with your hands. Take one more breath in. The option to drop your knees will lower all the way down to the belly. Forehead down on the mat. Inhale, come up for a cobra pose and hold. So here, a back bend. Important, though we don't back bend traditionally in the handstand, there are some variations. It is important to fire up the back muscles to warm them up because it helps us both enter our handstand and as we dynamically hold, those muscles can help us stay. Take one more breath in. Feel your shoulders squeeze together. Push them down and away. Exhale, lower down. Press into your knees and hands or tuck your toes. We'll press up and press back to downward facing dog. Now I won't spend a lot of time teaching the vinyasa today. I have other videos that do that. If you're still learning how to chaturanga and up dog, please visit some of those videos. And for today, maybe save your strength and hold high plank and press straight back to down dog. We'll take one more breath in here. One more exhale. Inhale, up on the toes. That big toe mound work we did at the very beginning, I want you to feel that, pressing the ground away. And then take your tippy toes to baby step your feet to your hands, shifting the weight into the hands. Forward fold, belly up and in. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Palms face forward. Palms face the ceiling, press the ground away. Inhale, come up on your toes and stay. So feeling this shape, the activation of the legs, the balance, squeeze your big toe mounds together, draw your belly up and in, ribs knit in, reach your palms toward the ceiling, take a breath in, and then exhale. Release your heels, bent knee, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, option to step, or this time, maybe you jump back. Lower through a chaturanga, or all the way to the belly. Up dog or cobra. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Big breath in here. Big exhale. Inhale, look forward, come up on the heels again, pushing the toes into the earth. This time, baby steps or option to slightly bend the knees, drop the heels, and then it's a push of the big toe mounds that help you to jump your feet lightly to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, belly up and in, ribs knit in, palms face each other, then face forward. Peel the hands back, reach through the palms, sit into chair. Belly is drawn in super strongly, and this helps neutralize the pelvis here. So I'm not pushing my pelvis back and collapsing my belly. I'm actually drawing my belly in to bring that pelvis into the right stance. Sitting low, this is a great posture for experiencing what to do with the hips in handstand. Again, finding that body awareness. Take one more inhale, keep pushing through your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step or jump back. Up dog or cobra. Press back, down dog. Inhale, take your right leg high. Reach through that big toe mound. Square your right hip down, belly is up and in. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Inhale, lift, You're coming into that high plank shape. As you shift forward, knee to nose, and then step your right foot through. Inhale, rise up for Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Reach through your fingertips, palms face forward, hands peel back, lift, and feel that extension through the heel of the hand. Take a breath in, and then on your exhale, we'll side bend over to the right, getting some side body length and some length in the lats here. Inhale up through the middle, peel the palms back again, press the ground away, or the ceiling away, feel the core integration, and then exhale, hamstring stretch. We'll take this half Hanumasana or half splits shape. So I want you to kind of slightly drag back with your right hip, lengthen your spine on an inhale. Exhale to reach and fold, draw your toes toward your face. Inhale, bring it forward. Take your right hand to your right knee and twist. So while twisting isn't a huge part of the handstand posture itself, we will twist in our flow today because it's important for warming up the spine and getting us into the posture. Inhale, reach your fingertips toward the ceiling if you'd like. Really, again, find that reach. And then exhale, plant your right hand. Fire up the back left leg if you'd like, or keep your left knee down. We'll meet in high plank and flow through. Inhale, left leg high. Square that left hip down, push through the left big toe mound. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, find length. Exhale, left foot steps through. Drop your right knee. Inhale, rise. Palms face forward, heels of hands reach. Up and back and feel all the integration into your core. And then exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, reach through your fingertips. Sit a little deeper on the exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, palms to the ceiling. Shift back, half Hanumanasana. Lengthen, extend, draw your left hip back and then fold. Breaths full and deep. You can keep a micro bend in that front left knee if that feels right in your hamstring and your hip. Inhale, walk forward. Plant your right hand and take your left hand to your left thigh. Belly up and in, we twist. And then inhale, extend your left fingertips long. Press the ground away. Reach through the fingers. Exhale, left hand plants, and you'll come up on your back right toes, or not. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Flowing through, or skipping it, or modifying. Take a big breath in. Big exhale. Press the ground away. Feel the length in your arms. Let your head go. One more breath in. Exhale. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees, step, or float your feet to your hands, and forward fold. Inhale, straight to chair. Exhale, reach through the heels of your hands. Inhale, maybe gaze up between your thumbs this time. Feel what happens in the core. So now we're working into what happens in our handstand with the head and neck. Keep drawing your belly up and in. Keep reaching through the heels of your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale your trip through a vinyasa. Take a downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, crescent warrior, reach. Exhale, palms to the ceiling. Inhale, press up and away, expand. Sit a little lower on the exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, reach forward, hands to your heart. Prayer twist to the right. We're not here super long. Again, just working to warm up back in our twists. Inhale, up through the center. Exhale, Optional three-legged vinyasa. So step back to high plank or keep the right leg lifted, belly up and in. Lower through. Tops of both feet flat for up dog. Press back, down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left foot steps through. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, peel the hands back. Inhale, press and open. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hands to heart, and you twist to your left. Inhale, through the middle. Exhale, hands plant. Option for that three-legged vinyasa. Tuck your toes, down dog. Big breath in. Big exhale. Inhale, look between your hands, come up on your toes, and then step or float your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands go back, gaze up, belly up and in. From here, I want you to go straight to standing on your toes with your gaze up. Maybe take it higher, challenge your balance. Push the ground away, push the ceiling away. Breath in, breath out. Forward fold, and that's hard. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands plant. Come up on your toes. Option here. Jump back. Try to land your feet a little lighter than I just did. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale, option here, first drill to get into our warrior stance. You'll lift your right leg high, and then from here, come up on your left toes. Kick, and then play with a switch. So you'll lift, and then switch, and land that right foot at the top of the mat. It's kind of fun. Inhale up, crescent. Exhale, straight to that prayer twist. Inhale, lead with your left hand. Exhale, warrior two. Sit low. Reach long through your right fingers. Settle in. Make sure you can see your right big toe. Fire up your back left thigh. We'll inhale, reverse, reach for your right fingertips. Find length. Exhale, side angle. Belly is up and in. Inhale, reverse here, straighten your right leg. Exhale, tip your hips back and find triangle pose. Reach long through your left hand. Again, still just kind of warming up here with our sun bee variations. We'll inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill down. Again, here, another option. So three-legged vinyasa, or modifying down from there, or the option here to take the right leg high and kick up and play with lifting and putting some weight in your hands. Now that may look like this right now, and that's totally fine. You are still putting weight into your hands. From there, we find our vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Inhale takes left leg high. You come up on your right toes. Look between your hands and either step the left foot through or play with these little hops. Maybe finding some hang time. And when you're there, you can switch. And that was a little clunky, right? And that's okay. Over time, you'll be able to float that leg in. And I'll demonstrate that. Inhale, up through your crescent warrior. Exhale, straight to prayer twist. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, reverse. Gaze up, reach up, find all that length. Exhale, side angle. Again, really paying attention to how you extend through the fingertips to hug muscle to the bone in the arms. Inhale, reverse, straighten your left leg. Exhale, triangle pose. About 5 breaths in these postures. Just enjoying and feeling into the stretch and the strength. We'll inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill your hands down. And this time it's the left leg that swings up and back. I'll show you a different variation of this as well. So what we do is we take that left leg, and it's kind of dynamic, right? It comes up, and we feel that shift of weight into the hands. And maybe you're able to vinyasa from there to down dog. Take a breath in. Big exhale. Inhale fully. Exhale deeply. Inhale, look forward, up on your toes, heels lift, belly up and in. Bend your knees. Float your feet to your hands and forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, straight to it. Belly's up and in. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Sit your hips low. Make sure your left knee is not scooting out too far in front of your right. And we'll inhale all the way up. Press up, reach up. Exhale. Try to keep the legs straight this time as you tip the pelvis and forward fold. Chest toward thighs. Bend your knees when you're ready. You can heel toe the feet apart or should. And we'll take Pada Gustasana or monkey fingers to the toes. Bend your elbows out to the sides. Take your hip points high. Let your head and neck go. About 5 breaths. Lift from your inner thighs. See if you can spread your sits bones. Rock some weight into your big toe mounts and then back into your heels and draw the crown of the head closer to the earth. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, Padahastasana, soles of the feet onto the palms. We'll take the toes all the way to the wrist creases and bend your elbows out to the sides. Let your head and neck go. Hip points go high. Breathe. Really releasing here, finding a chance to catch your breath, but staying active. So strong in the arms, driving the heels down, lifting the sits bones, working the stretch. Inhale up halfway, release the palms, chair pose. Sit low on an exhale. Inhale, hands reach. Exhale, prayer twist to your left this time. And again, just really working to warm up the spine. One more inhale. Exhale, fold. And here, we'll take a little work into the hips, heel toe your feet. Mats width, toes out, heels in, sit low. Coming into this little malasana squat. And we have the option here, this will inform one of our entries into handstand. First of all, so important to open the hips. We also have the option to play with our crow pose. And why is crow informative for handstand? It's because we are fully shifting our weight into our hands. So it's kind of a safer way to experience what has to happen in the hands when you're in handstand. So if you'd like, you can stay in malasana, work this hip stretch. I want you to really work to drive your heels down if you're staying and feel the lift. Otherwise, turn your toes to face straight forward. Sit super low in this bear pose. Palms will turn out slightly and you'll play with gripping the mat. So really feel that grip. And then from here, come up on the toes. You'll feel that same experience of the toe mound pressing down, knees come to the backs of the arms, and take your crow. So here, if you're really stable in your crow, you can with straightening the arms and coming into crane. Keep bringing your heels toward your bum. Take a breath in, and then we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Take a breath in, big breath out. Here, we'll take the right leg high, Again, that option is to step or float through the handstand, and I'll demonstrate that kind of in its full expression if I can stick it. So we'll come up on the left toes, look between the hands. You're using your right leg as your accelerator. Your left leg is your brake. So your left leg's what's going to bring you back to the earth. We don't want to overshoot this. So I'm going to come up, maybe. Let me try again. I'm going to come up and then slowly draw my right thigh to my chest to step it through. Inhale, crescent warrior. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Look down. Inhale is half moon. Exhale, slow lower. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle. Adding on here, we'll sweep the left arm down and around and find wide leg forward fold. Rock some weight into your hands here by pushing the arms straight and coming up on the toes, and then release. Inhale, press the ground away, feel the weight rock into your hands, come up on the toes, feel the belly engage, release. Once more, do that, inhale, and then here you have the option to play with some handstand hops. So I'll turn to the side. You can keep doing that drill that I was demonstrating. So that's, again, hands are a little ahead of the feet. You'll have the elbows bent, the legs straight. You'll inhale, look forward, push and straighten the arms as you come up on the toes. That's that first drill. If you want to play with handstand hops upside down, this is our first two-legged option for handstand hopping that I'm showing you. You'll just bend the knees, set your drishti or your gaze point on one spot. I frequently have some sort of fleck of dirt on my mat, and I really focus on that one spot. So I'm pushing my hands down, I'm lifting my heels, feel that big toe mound pressure we've been working. Feel the heels of the hands into the ground, arms are straight, bend your knees, and then play with little hops. I'm less worried about you getting all the way up than I am about you feeling that little float that you can get when you do your jumps and you're straightening and pressing the arms away, bringing the shoulders toward the ears. So let's try again. Finding that little hang time. This is not about handstanding in the moment. It's about the drills on how to enter well. So bend the knees, press up, and then maybe you find hang time in your splits. If you get up, see if you can come back down nice and slowly. Forward fold. And here we are in our forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, turn your right toes to the top of the mat. Step your left foot up and out. We'll find a pyramid stretch. Head and neck release. Drive your right heel, your right knife's edge of your foot into the mat. Lift through the right hip. Draw your left hip forward and fold. Inhale up halfway. Root down through your right foot, and then we'll take a standing split. So another lovely place to practice handstand. And this is a chance to, in your standing splits, to speak to how important it is to learn how to fall out of handstand while you're practicing handstand. So a lot of the problems come with fear of what if I fall? And basically my quick answer to that is if you can do a cartwheel, then you know how to fall out of handstand. So I'm going to demonstrate a safe way to fall out here, right? So you might get that moment of hang time, be like, oh my God, I'm upside down, and then crash. So coming into this standing split shape, I want you to rock your weight into your standing big toe mound of your right foot, and then it's the lift of the left leg, yes, combined with a little hop from the right leg that get us here. So let's say you get that hang time and you're ready to fall out. You kick one hand forward and play with that idea of kind of cartwheeling out. So, little sidebar there, know how to fall. So let's play with that. Come back to your standing splits. Left leg is high, crown of the head toward the earth. And then again, we'll play with straightening the arms, coming up on the big toe mound of the right foot. Totally okay if this foot is further back and the knee is bent. But we're squaring our left hip down, not opening it. Keeping the hips square helps us set up for those little handstand hops. So lifting the left leg as you hop with the right. And maybe again, you get that hang time, you're upside down for just a moment. Ideally, when you're ready to come out, you play with that slow lowering. Forward fold. Head and neck release. Inhale, come up halfway. And then we'll take our feet, not quite as wide as a malasana. Toes will face out, heels in, and sit low. Now here we're gonna play with some frog hops up and back before we take that sun C set to the left side. So sitting here in this deep squat, feet are a little closer together. I'm gonna plant my hands, my toes are still turned out, and then I'm just gonna try to get my hips with my legs still wide in line with my shoulders. So try to get my hips nice and high. So I come up and feel that experience of pressing the ground away with my hips over my shoulders. Once you're there, you can frog hop back and then look forward. Find a drishti point between your hands, bend your knees, and frog hop forward. So a few of those, again, getting the heart rate up, jumping back and forth. And they're called frog hops again because the legs are wide, kind of like frog legs. So practice that. I'm going to demonstrate from the front here so you can kind of see what's happening. I'm keeping the integrity of that leg shape throughout. So I'm kind of locking the lower body in. And eventually, what you're able to do with this, because you're widening your center of gravity, the legs are nice and wide, you may be able to hold and then come back down. Or maybe take the legs all the way up. All right, we'll meet in forward fold. Head and neck release. Inhale up. Halfway, plant your hands, bend your knees, jump back, flow through. Inhale, we'll take your left leg high. Option to lift that left leg. Little hops with this right foot as you look forward. And maybe step the left foot through for your vinyasa. Inhale up. Exhale, prayer twist left. Inhale, windmill open, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, half moon. Reach and extend through the big toe mound. That's really why this is here. My hip opening variation. Exhale, slow lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, triangle. Extend through your fingers, inhale. Exhale, sweep. So again, same options here in our wide leg forward fold. This time you'll see it from behind. So I've got my hands, my palms turned out, much like crow pose. I'm going to look between my hands as I straighten my arms, press the ground away, and rock the weight into my toes. I start to feel my feet get nice and light. Rock and press. And again, the tendency is to have the arms stay bent. I want you to really work the arms straight. Press the ground away. And then maybe you play with those frog hops here now, or work the legs out in splits. So the frog hops would be keeping the knees bent as if you're going to kick your heels to your glutes, like that. And play with being upside down if you're there. Forward fold. Inhale up, Turn your left toes and walk yourself in to a pyramid pose. Step your right foot up and out. Let your head and neck go and fold. Big stretch for the left IT band, left hamstring. Setting up for our standing splits, entry into handstand. So lots and lots of ways to get into your handstand drills. And you will certainly find that some work better for you than others. And you'll probably be like me and find that lifting one leg is easier than lifting the other. So I enter better with my right leg high, and I'm a little wobbly when I lift my left leg. So from here, we'll come into that standing split. Remember how to bail out, right? It's like a cartwheel. You lift your right leg, fold into it, keep your right hip squaring down, reach through your right big toe, push through your left big toe. Maybe there's a slight bend in that left knee as you play with getting some hang time. If you get upside down, remember everything we've built, pushing through your big toe mounds, belly up and in, and when you're ready to come out, try to control your lowering down. Forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Belly's up and in. Exhale, hands to your heart, chin to your chest. We'll do one more Sun B variation. Sun C, adding in some standing balance and a little bit, one more transition on how to get handstand integrated into your vinyasa. And we'll end with some drills at the wall. So I want you to inhale, reach up, rise up, push the ceiling away with the heels of your hands, push the ground away with your toes. And then from here, we'll go ahead and release the heels down, lift the right leg, extend the right heel out, belly up and in, and then sit into an eagle shape with your right leg under, your right arm under. Right leg over, right arm under. Good. From here, keep your eagle arms. Extend your right leg out. Right leg out. And then inhale, reach. Extend through your fingertips. Exhale, airplane pose. Right leg is back this time. Extend through the crown of your head. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands release down. And then from here, we'll find that little jump back with the left foot, okay? So I'm in kind of a standing splits variation. I'm less worried about you handstanding than I am with you slowly and lightly landing your left foot. So standing splits, I want you to bend and lift and lower that left foot. The right leg is high. I'm inhaling, and then I'm going to take the right foot through warrior or crescent warrior. Breathe. Exhale, twist. Inhale, windmill open, warrior two. Reverse. Windmill your hands down. And from here, I'm going to take the right leg back, right foot back slightly. Now it's the right foot that's forward. This time it's the left leg that's going to lift me into handstand. So I shift the weight almost back into that standing split. Same idea as how we entered here. I'm going to push up and then jump back and vinyasa through. Press back to down dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Playing again, frog hops if you want to go that direction. So we'll frog hop to the front of the mat. Or play with a bunny hop. This time with bunny hops, the feet are together and you're trying to tuck your knees into your chest. So less again worried about coming into the full handstand and more focused on tucking the knees in. So frog hops or bunny, look to the top of the mat. Again, this gets your heart rate up, right? Bend your knees and then try to land your feet lightly in that little tucked knee bunny hop. Let's do a couple more. If you're a frog or bunny, looking forward, heels lift, belly tucks in, Try to slowly and lightly land the feet. Maybe you get the hips stacked over the shoulders and you find that hang time. So you're here and you're hanging out. Again, since the legs are weighted heavy, it's a little easier to land versus bailing out overhead. Here we'll find our forward fold, head and neck release. Inhale, rise all the way up. Press the ground away, belly up and in. Reach through the heels of your hands. Exhale, release. Inhale, left leg extends. I think we need to still be reaching here. Exhale, eagle. Left leg wraps over. And it's hard, right? We want to quit that reach because that's what's so hard. Left leg is under, myself included. And then inhale, rise up, extend. Exhale, airplane. Extend through the crown of your head. Find a little cow pose in your spine. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale to the right foot. We're going to float back this time. We press into the hands, lift the right foot, and float it back. Optional. Vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Left leg maybe stayed lifted there. We look forward, come up on the left toes, and then bring a foot through. Again, can look a little sloppy like that. You're just learning your body in space as you go upside down. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, twist. Inhale, warrior two. Reverse, windmill down. Hands plant. I almost always now plant my hands again with that slight turning out. So it's my forefinger pointing at the top of the mat. And then this time, my left foot slides back. I come back into that standing split shape. Right leg is lifted. And I play with floating this left leg. Now you can do what I did and bend the knee, or you can keep that left leg straight as you play with going upside down. Now, if you're in your handstand and you want to work the transition through chaturanga, it's a little more complex, but you start to bend the elbows and lower down and through. Takes a lot of strength, a lot of practice, and a lot of comfort being upside down. Take a breath in, big breath out. Look forward. And then our last drill before we take it to the wall, for some drills that you can really do anytime for your handstand practice, we'll be playing with piking it with the legs straight and together. So this is the hardest of all the ways to get there, but it is also the one that will help you get your floating forward nice and smooth, nice light landing. So as you can tell, I'm a little out of breath. I'm a little tired from talking and doing all this handstanding. So I'm going to catch my breath here in down dog. My head and neck release. Pressing the ground away. And I'm working the strength of my legs here in down dog. I'm basically trying to keep the integrity of this shape. And I want to think about bringing my toes toward my wrists. So I'm going to look forward, find my drishti point between my hands, wrap my shoulders back, press the ground away. Come up on the toes, lifting the heels. Again, belly back up and in, pelvic floor lifting. And then it's that flick of the ankles that actually controls the movement. It's more of a micro movement versus a big bend of my knees. So I'm here, I'm going to work keeping the legs straight to slow lower. And that one was just all right. So I am still practicing very much too, and I'm by no means perfecting this handstand business. Just sharing what works for me with you guys. So we'll take it to the wall now. And really important here to know the difference between starting with your back facing the wall versus your front facing the wall and kicking up. Both have value. One is a little more challenging and strength building, and the other is a little more fun because it gets you straight into the pose. So traditionally people are I find students that want to get into handstand take the front to the wall variation. So I'm going to speak to that first. And front to the wall variation causes us to overly rely on the wall to kick ourselves in, and so we don't control our lift. That's one downside. The other downside is it gives into the default of collapsing the belly and kicking the pelvis back. So if you're kicking up into the wall, I want you to do so with your fingertips almost all the way to the wall here. And then you'll take your favorite leg high, look between your hands, and find just the lift action, the pushing the ground away and the lifting action. So it's this, and I want you to try not to touch the wall. Once you're at the wall, push the ground away, and then begin to work to take your feet to hover off of the wall. I'll show you or demonstrate what tends to happen instead. Instead, we plop our hands down and sloppily just kick and flunk into the wall. So if you're getting that action where you feel like you're going to put a hole in the wall, you want to back it up, slow it down, and focus less on getting there and more on how you get there. So again, hands oftentimes, even if you're not plopping the hands down, hands plant, and we kick our legs into the wall and collapse back. And here I have no integrity in my core. I'm collapsing in my shoulders. Instead, I need to push the ground away. I need to squeeze my legs together and use the grip of my finger pads to control what's happening while I'm upside down. Okay, that's one way to be upside down against the wall. My favorite way is starting with your back to the wall. So this is where blocks can come in handy, just as a marker. If you don't have blocks, you can use anything for this. So here I am, seated with my back against the wall to measure the length of my body. And I'm going to place my blocks right where my hands are going to need to be. So I've actually got the edge of the blocks at my heels, so that when I place my hands, my fingertips are going to go right there. It's going to feel super short. You're going to possibly feel as though you're going to tip over this way. Trust that you won't. So come on up. You can set the blocks to the side once you get your hands nicely placed. And then you're going to bring yourself into a little pike shape. So I like to start here almost like a down dog or a beast pose, and then straighten the legs. And you're in an L shape. Your legs are parallel to the ground, not on an angle. Look between your hands, and I want you to hold that. Try holding for extended periods of time, as that's what builds the strength in the shoulder girdle. But you're in this shape, just against the wall with the feet. Over time, as you do this variation, you may find the shift of weight and then lifting one leg and hovering the toes off of the wall. Again, always know how to bail out. All right, so I'm starting to feel this in my forearms, and that's a sign in my body it's time to wind down and take a break. So let's come to a child's pose. Center of your forehead down on the mat. Let your head and neck go. Let your hips go. Inhale, come on up. Draw your right knee to your right wrist and take pigeon, or you can take supine pigeon if you prefer. Elbows down on the ground, head and neck release here, and soften the space around your hips. Inhale, rise up, rock your weight onto your right hip and swing your left leg around. We'll reach up and exhale. Fold for Janu Sirsasana shape. Sort of a tree pose with the right foot in toward the right calf, the right knee resting down, left leg long. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to your right. Left hand will go to your right knee. You'll gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, reach up, over. Right fingertips toward your left foot. Look inside of your right elbow versus collapsing the chest down. If the flexibility is there and you're able to, you can reach for the outer left foot with your right hand, but again, avoid collapsing down. This is a side body stretch. We'll counter pose. Inhale, reach your right hand to plant behind your left hip, right hand behind right hip. Sweep your left arm as you press into your right shin. Find stargazer length along the left side of your body. Take a breath in. Exhale. Release. Take your left foot, right foot outside of your left leg. Bend your left knee in like so. And we will twist to our right. From here, Gomukhasana. You'll stack your right knee on top of your left. Sit tall, belly up and in. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Shift weight onto the left hip. Swing your right leg around and take right side supine pigeon or reclined if the knee needs that. I like a little gentle activation in my pigeon pose of the shin down into the earth to avoid collapsing into a hip that is pretty tight and trying to force a stretch that's not there and puts undue pressure on my knee. So I keep that activation and I can still feel a stretch. Inhale, shift your weight back into your left foot. Swing your right leg around. We'll take a Janu Sirsasana, folding over our right leg. Inhale, come up. Exhale, twist to your left. Gaze over your left shoulder, releasing the back, rooting down through your sits bones. Very little or no weight in this left hand. It's actually just used to help the twist. And then we'll keep the chest open as we reach up and over for our right foot with our left hand. Right hand stays on your left knee, and you'll gaze up inside of the left elbow, feeling all this length along the left side. Inhale, rise up, plant your left hand, sweep your right arm, push into your left shin. Stargazer, this is one of my favorite transitions. And then release your hips. Take your left foot outside of your right thigh, rock onto your right hip as you bend your right knee in, and we'll twist to our left. And find a cow face pose on this side now. So it's the left knee stacking over the right. I should have spoken to the modification for this on the other side, but if this is too intense, it's the bottom leg that can go straight. So find that modification if the hips are not open for this pose. Maybe here, some gentle rolls into the wrists or even a little pulling back to soften into the wrists and forearms. We did a lot of work in the hands and wrists today. You can even do some squeezing here to release. And from here, we'll rock the weight onto our right hip. Release the left leg and take your legs into a butterfly shape. Lift your chest, draw your belly in, and exhale to fold. Soften the knees down toward the earth. Release. Inhale, rise up. Draw your knees together. Scooch your bum toward your heels and roll back. We'll lift our hips for a bridge pose. Nice and easy. If you have a block and want to take supported bridge, please do so. It's a lovely, lovely pose. Just nice and easy here. Release the low back down. Another little bit of a low back psoas release. Take your left leg long, hug your right knee in. So I say psoas, that's this front hip flexor that can tend to get really tight. And it gets tight sometimes in handstanding because we're using it to help kind of lift the leg and slow our lowering. From here, supine twist, scoot your hips to the right, drop your right knee over to the left, and open your chest. Inhale, back through the center. Release your right foot to the earth, draw your left foot to the earth, and extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee in. And then twist over to the right. Left leg drops, left arm extends out to the left. If you have lights on, now is a great time to turn those off as you start to wind down your practice. We'll roll back onto our backs. Hug the knees into the chest, squeeze in. Take a big breath in. Then release for your Shavasana. Much deserved. Legs long, palms face up. Chest lifts, and then release down into your mat. Let everything go. Let go of any gripping around what did or didn't happen in your handstand practice. Trust that with practice it will come. I'll leave you here to enjoy your Shavasana in hopes that you can stay for as long as possible. Thank you so much for playing upside down with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.